Alright, let's measure the JVC NZ900 in a bunch of different kind of options and menu settings on a full white field and see what kind of light output we can get out of the NZ900 under different setting modes. So I mentioned the concept for this video, I think back when I did the original unboxing. We did the big long live stream where Sammy Prescott Jr. And I went through all the settings in the JVC, a bunch of the integrative settings with the MAD-VR. He made a bunch of recommendations and so on about how to run the NZ900 in terms specifically about maximizing light output. For me right now, I was moving from an NX7 to the NZ900, went from something like 50 nits on the screen to over 100 nits on the screen. The brightness is amazing. It's absolutely impactful to the quality of the image and all of that. However, the JVC 900, it has a color filter. It has a laser power setting. It has an aperture. It has other things that we can tweak inside of it that actually potentially sacrifice light output for other gains and benefits and whatnot. And so I think it's good to kind of characterize the light output overall of the projector, and in the long run as well, see where I end up. Now, Sammy's coming here soon. We're going to be doing a full calibration on the projector, which means might have some better colors and some better overall image quality, but probably going to lose some brightness in the calibration. But I also have a Panamorph coming. Yeah, DCR plus XM2 lens is on its way. We're going to get a whole bunch of resolution and a bunch of that light back. But so for the point of this video, I have my light meter. Now this measures lux. I picked this thing up off of Amazon for I think nigh on about 20 or 30 bucks, something like that. So if you don't have a tool like this in your home theater toolkit and you have a projection system, you really owe it yourself to order a light meter. Now when it comes to light and we talk about projector light, we often talk about a unit called nits. These meters, though, they don't measure nits, they measure lux. However, there is a real easy conversion formula to go from lux to nits. We basically just take the lux that's measured, we multiply by the screen gain, and we divide by pi, 3.14. So if you have a 1.0 gain screen, real easy. Take your lux, divide by 3.14. So as we go through this, I'm going to have the JVC set in a variety of menu settings. I'll describe and discuss what each of those are. We'll measure the light output, build a little bit kind of a table, and compare and contrast and see what these settings actually do when it comes to light output of the projector itself. All right, you're not going to be able to see me too well, I guess. I want to be really careful. One of the things to note, when you have these types of laser projectors throwing out this much light, and especially we're throwing a full white field on the screen, keep the eyes and the face out of that light beam. It is terribly bright, and those lasers can actually damage your eyes permanently. So to get started here, we're going to do a bit of a baseline. So we have no color filter in place. We have laser power set to 100. I have turned off the dynamic control, but when I go to measure, I will dismiss the menu. I'll wait just a moment, kind of let everything settle, so to speak, on the full white field, and we'll take our measurement. I do have my aperture set to 0 here as well. So the main things that we're going to be looking at is the impact of the color filter, the impact of the laser dimming power meter, and the impact of the aperture meter. So that's our first measurement. I got 386 lux. I'm going to record that into my spreadsheet. All right, now I think the one element of this I think most folks will be interested to know, and myself included, is the impact of the color filter. So I'm going to come in here and we're going to change our color profile from BT 2020 normal to BT 2020 wide, and that will move the color filter into place. BT 2020 wide. We'll black out here for just a moment. Can hear it moving over. Come back up. Well, that was actually really nice and quick. I'm going to dismiss this menu, and we'll get this measurement next. 262 lux with the color filter. So just for math's sake, that's about a third, 1/3 loss in light, 33% reduction in light just in the color filter alone. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the color filter back out, and then we'll take a look at what the aperture does. Ooh, oh, there I am. Okay, so we're back in here. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go to more settings. Now the aperture starts at 0 all the way over, and it does go to a -15 setting. So I had been running it at Sammy's recommendation at -3, so I think I'll take a measurement here every -3 steps. We'll do -3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Take a measure and we'll get an idea kind of the plot of the graph of the resulting light output at each one of those settings. 353 lux for the -3 setting. 307 at -6. 250 lux at -9. 152 at -12. We're losing like real fast here now, real fast. It's not a linear relationship at all. 78 at -15. We're basically clamping that thing down. Laser power we're going to measure in steps of 15. So we started at 100. I'm going to go to 85, 70, 55, and 40. 351 lux at 85%. 313 at 70. 282 at 55. And this is having a bigger impact on the noise of the projector. As I'm ratcheting this laser power down, I can audibly hear the fan noise getting quieter and quieter coming out of the unit. 242 at 40. And we'll do one more. 208 at 25 laser. So pretty cool measurements there. I hope this is useful to some folks. Let's try to draw a couple of conclusions. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, I think that 100 nits generally seems to be like a golden number for projection-based home theater. If you're able to hit 100 nits on your screen, that's largely regarded as a very competent amount of light for HDR, also provided you have good tone mapping and processing and such to go along with it. Now with my former JVC, I was running about 50 nits. I wasn't really even seeing HDR anywhere near to its capability or capacity within my home theater. For the several movies that we've watched on the NZ900 so far, I had been running 100 laser, and I had been running with balanced dimming and the -3 aperture setting, giving me something on the order of about 106 nits. Now, the Center Stage XD Seymour material that I have on my screen here, it is largely regarded as a unity gain style screen, a 1.0 gain screen. That's what I've been using in my calculations. I suppose I could probably use 0.9 or so, but using these numbers, if I run something around 85 laser dimming and a -3 aperture setting, which is what Sammy recommended, that puts me almost exactly at 100 nits, 102 nits to be exact, measured at 321 lux. One of the other things that I did check out a little bit was how does some of the settings kind of interact with each other? Are the specific deltas that I measured here specifically additive? So for example, going from no filter, full laser, no aperture was again 386 lux. The -3 aperture setting was 353, so a drop of about roughly 30 lux, 10 nits. Going down to 85 laser, 355 lux, down from 386, again, roughly a difference of 30 lux, and again, about 10 nits. 386 lux calculates out to be about 123 nits, and again, measuring the compounding of a -3 aperture and an 85 laser gives me 321 lux, 102 nits. They don't seem to actually compound or negatively impact each other in any way. I suppose if you went deeper in some of the settings and depending on what you were using, maybe there could be some compounding or additive effects, but I was happy to see at least here in my experimentation and in my measurements, I can choose to drop the laser a little bit, actually hopefully getting down into the secondary band of fan speed and fan noise and heat generation while still maintaining the aperture setting that was recommended to me and maintaining it just slightly in excess or almost exactly at 100 nits. So I think I am going to actually turn this down now as a result of doing this. I had been running, again, no color filter, full laser, -3. I'm going to go ahead and tick, I think, the laser down to 85. See if that makes a little bit of a difference. In a long movie, and certainly in quieter passages, I can hear a little bit more of the projector. I can hear a little bit more of that fan noise. I am measuring the temperature around the unit with my temperature probe. So I'll be curious to see if we take the laser down to 85, we watch a movie, is the temperature not getting as high? Is it a few degrees cooler, whatever it may be, as a result of that? And or is the fan noise actually a little bit less obtrusive, particularly a little bit more towards the end of the movie? So there you go. If you're thinking about a JVC NZ900, I think we just showed that this thing is certainly a little bit of a light cannon, or roughly a 3300 spec lumen projector, capable of lighting up a very large 163-inch diagonal 235:1 scope screen. That's 150 inches wide. Anything less than that, and we're going to be starting to fall under that 100 nit kind of HDR target level. As I mentioned, Sammy Prescott Jr. is going to pay a visit here soon to the Techthusiasm home theater. Going to do a full run-through calibration and all of that, all the trimmings, all the fixings on the NZ900. Very curious what we lose after that. And again, the Panamorph DCR plus XM2 is on its way. One of the questions that I'm sure is going to be put in the comments right away is, well, why didn't you get the Alpha? Well, depending on what lens you buy is actually predicated mostly by your throw distance from your projector to your screen. There's a threshold where the alpha makes sense based on its glass design in engineering, and below that there's a point where the DCR still makes sense. I fell pretty clearly below the level where the DCR makes the most sense. The advertised spec is something like 1.6 to 1 or greater throw distance. You go to the alpha. I'm at like roughly 1.44 to 1. So very clearly in the DCR range. But it's going to be interesting to add the lens, get it all set up, all the anamorphic settings, all that kind of stuff with the Mad VR, get it all spec'd in, lined up, and ready to go. The NZ900 I think is already as sharp as a razor. I'm really curious to see if there's anything even incrementally notable by taking advantage of that extra resolution. And boom, once again, we're going to get all that light back from the lens, hopefully offsetting the application of the calibration perhaps. If we even get more offsetting of light, hey, maybe we'll even be able to run the color filter. I kind of doubt it. I think we'll probably still be color filter off, maximizing light and taking advantage of some of the other settings, but we'll figure it all out when Sammy comes. So stay tuned for that. Lots of comments, content, and discussion to come. Of course, if you have any questions about this stuff, if you're shopping this stuff, you want to talk about it, I'm happy to chat. I'm happy to advise. I do paid consulting. Where applicable, I am also a dealer for a lot of these things. I am a JVC dealer, Kaleidoscape, and a whole other variety of home theater, audio, video brands and the like. I can help you with all that stuff directly. And hey, if I can't, I got a ton of awesome business partners that can. So come to me first if you're looking for something. If I can help you, I will. If I can refer you, because that's what makes sense, I will do that. If you'd like to support the channel otherwise, check out the description. Down in the description there is affiliate links to Amazon, Target, Best Buy, and a whole bunch of others. Use them yourself, have your family use them, give them to your spouse while they're buying all the stuff that comes every day from Amazon. And hey, if you would, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video, leave a comment. Let me know, what projector are you running? What kind of brightness are you getting? How do the settings of your projector and how you choose to run them actually impact the brightness, the effective brightness that you get on your screen? What's your preference and why? Sound off in the comments, share, let's discuss, and help some other folks out. Give them some guidance and advice maybe for some things that they may want to tweak or adjust in their own projector setup. Thanks so much for watching. Come on back for more home theater discussion and fun. Thanks.